Hey, what's going on, guys? Alex, once again with LJ here, and today we're going to talk about something I guess that everybody's asking questions about. It's
Sure.
how to find these fish in the winter, early spring, or what you're looking for out there.
Okay. That's pretty easy. So the season's going to fluctuate as it goes through. Like right now, today, we're going to go out and we're going to go catch fish. Don't promise you I'm going to find birds because I don't expect to.
Right.
You know, if you want birds, run down to Point Lookout. They're down there.
Yeah.
So back in I think it was 2006, I started learning how to fish the winter because I wasn't going to go down, down to Point Lookout. I'm going to stay and learn my own home waters. That's the key. Learn your home water. All right.
Because there's fish there all the time, and
There's
that's one
always
thing
fish
we always
there.
talk about.
The thing I'm going to tell you will work at the mouth of the eBay. It'll work at the mouth of the Patuxent, the Potomac. It's a pattern. It's not a spot.
Right.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out. Most likely, it's going to be nothing but water. No birds sitting around.
Right.
Sometimes I don't even see birds. And they don't make my day or break it. They don't.
Right.
So go out and find the underwater structure. And what does that mean? Well, it's pretty much the same thing that you do on a shoreline. You'll notice the channel edge, kind of does this thing. It snakes.
Right.
It's not straight. Find your underwater points, okay? And find them in different depths. So do your homework before you go out.
Right.
Okay?
Look at a chart. I mean, that's the biggest thing. There's apps, there's actual charts.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things nowadays.
You pull out and then find your underwater structure. And then go out there and find it and then fish it.
Right.
So the thing is, don't fish one depth. Try to set your drift up so that you're going either deep to shallow or shallow to deep. They could be in 39 feet or they can be in 62, 63. But that's pretty much the range that you're going to want to look for. I tend to look for 40 feet of water to 70. Most times when I've caught in 73, but that's not common.
Right.
But it could happen in late February. It could happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But go out there, do your homework before you go. Find your underwater structure.
Right.
Go out there, find it in the boat, and then set up your drift. Go, to change depths. And then when you catch a fish, look at your screen and find out how deep that is. Remember that. And then drift along. You might catch another fish. Check your depth. And then keep track of that. And then you might get to 62 feet, and crickets. Crickets. So what am I looking for when I'm doing it, other than the underwater structure? Just keep this in mind. Those fish are laying on their bellies. They're conserving energy. And they mark like little tiny rocks.
Right.
You don't mark fish.
Yeah, you won't see all those crazy arcs.
You won't see arches.
Yep.
Nope. You won't see arches. You'll see these little
bumps.
They look like little rocks down there. I can't explain it any other way.
Or like I've seen them before. When you find them pretty decent, it's like like a rock, almost like just a hump, like white perch hole on the bottom. Just a nice mark down there.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought up the white perch because if you find white perch, you'll find a rockfish.
Right.
You'll find the rockfish because here's how this thing works. The perch are down there, they're eating. There's rain minnows down there. I've caught flounder in the winter. There's white perch down there eating the rain minnows. There's pea crabs down there. There's shrimp down there.
Right.
I've caught shrimp.
Oh, yeah. I remember you showing me those.
Are you kidding me?
Big old shrimp.
I've even caught needlefish in the winter, okay? All that life is down there. And it's like this little cycle of life thing that's
it's
going
just
on.
going on, right?
It's not, they don't eat, these rockfish don't eat every day. They don't. And they eat if it's an easy opportunity, and then they'll eat.
Right.
And that's really, if you understand that concept, before you go out, do your homework, understand how this is going. And those fish are, all of those fish, they're going to be either here or they're going to be over there. I like slack tide.
Slack tide. And why is that?
Slack tide. The fish don't use as much energy to feed.
Huh. Less current, all that.
Big fish do not believe in spending energy to feed. Okay? Just understand that.
Right.
Slack. If it's peak tide, they might stay hunkered down. I'm not saying you won't catch on peak tide, or should I say current. peak current, but I like slack tide best. If I could time my day, I'll time it around slack tide to go out.
And that makes sense because obviously, like you're saying, it's wintertime. They're not going to spend that much energy. They're a little lethargic sitting on the bottom. So yeah, obviously it's one of those key, pieces of information,
Right.
like the slack tide, like you said. And the other thing too, as we talked about, days getting colder and colder. A lot of guys will ask, okay, so do they actually stay here all year long? Even in through the middle of February and whatnot.
Good question. And here's my experience with it. Yes, a lot of fish do. Okay, but we still will get, in early spring, that wave of ocean run. And here's what happens. When the ocean run fish come in, the fish that are laying down there, our resident fish, they'll be 40 plus inches down there. They go, the girls are here, and they get up
and they start moving.
They start moving around.
Yep.
And now we're back to plastics again.
Yep.
And we're fishing suspended fish.
And that's a classic thing we saw this past spring, right? When we see all those fish out there.
Yep. I forgot. Yeah.
And it was one of those things where you start seeing all those fish. And the other thing's the bait. There was a lot of bait around too.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a lot of bunker.
A lot of bunker. So a lot of those fish will come in through there and feed on them too. But like you were saying, there's plenty of bait down there on the bottom.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of getting out there. And I know that a lot of guys think this is something new. And I know there's guys like you that have been doing it for a while. And some of the things I always tell myself too, there was times years past where you couldn't get out there because there was just ice everywhere.
Right.
And now it's, a little bit mild. So
it was last year. Yeah. Now, the only time I broke ice last year was in December.
Yeah. So.
But I'll tell you what. When you're breaking ice, normally I catch my best fish. So be safe. I'm not telling you to break ice, but normally if I'm breaking ice to get out the marina,
big boy time, right?
Yeah, I got my 6-foot aluminum ladder and I'm just trying to get that ramp open.
Right. And that's the thing. Remember, those fish are moving up and down, the migratory fish at least, trying to find bait.
Yeah.
But don't be discouraged. There's plenty of fish locally. And that's
there really are. They're right there at your house. And I don't go far. Like, oh yeah, LJ's got the spot. No, LJ just fishes close to his house because I get cold and I come back in.
Right.
So like a 4-hour fishing trip for me in the winter, that's a pretty long day.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to go out for like 2 hours. And I think the other piece to it is don't be afraid to not be successful. Right. Even if you don't catch fish, you went out there and you learned something.
Yep,
you did your homework, you went out there, remember the depths that you fished, you found that area you were looking for, or you didn't. And I would say with the underwater contours, if you have a ledge that goes straight down, don't go there.
You want that
You want a gradual.
Yep.
You want a gradual.
And that's the one thing with, like, for example, a lot of these guys, you can either stay close home, like you said, and spend a few hours fishing around trying to learn the area. And you don't necessarily have to trailer all the way down to Point Lookout and whatnot. I mean, there's a little bit more going on with, like, I guess, open water stuff. But once again, I think in my experience personally, like you were saying, fishing locally means big fish.
Yeah.
Less numbers, but you're going for those heavy hitters.
If I'm over out of Sandy Point, because that's my easiest launch, I'm going to fish over there on the channel. Like, I'm not going to go, and you got the mouth of Severn there, you got the mouth of the Magathy there. I'm not going to launch out of Taylor's Island and run to Chesapeake Beach because I'm spending too much time on plane. It gets cold out there.
Yep. And then you never know with the weather. So
yeah, I know. For sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I hope it kind of help understand how to go out in the wintertime.
Right.
Target fish anyway.
Yep, and that's the thing, guys. Remember, there's a lot of different things to look for out there, but this is the most important stuff here to key into and, for you guys to be successful out there on the water. So thank you, LJ, for giving us those tips. And once again, any questions, come to the store or send us some questions online. And we'll see you guys next time.
Adios.